Right then folks, Greeno here. Where am I today? Well, I am in a gloriously sunny Bournemouth. I'm right here in the square, in the middle of town, and I'm outside a brand new branch of the Ivy. Now, the Ivy is a restaurant quite famous up in London. It was originally established in 1917, but it's kind of gained popularity, notoriety maybe, in the 90s, in the noughties. It was a kind of a celebrity hangout. All the likes of Kate Moss and all those supermodels used to go there, have dinner, and be photographed by the tabloids. So the Ivy was plastered all over the gossip pages. That little bit of fame enabled them to set up around the country. The latest one, like I say, is here in Bournemouth. It only opened in December of 2024. Now, we've come down here today. I'm with Mrs. Greeno, and we're going to try out their 1917 heritage menu. Now, on here, 2 courses, £19.95. Now that sounds like pretty good value to me, but will it be? That's the question, because the way I think it works, there's going to be a lot of add-ons onto this. So I've got a feeling that £19.95 per head is going to end up a bit more than that. Anyway, let's get inside and find out what it's all about, shall we? Okay then folks, so we've come in and been seated, and I've got to say, it's really nicely designed in here. It's all kind of shiny everywhere, lots of foliage, lots of greenery. It's nice. Mirrors around, the bar looks stunning. Now we've been asked to sit in a corner so that we're not going to film any other customers or any other staff members, so we got to respect that. So you're only going to see me, maybe a little bit of Mrs. Greeno. We all like a bit of eye candy in the videos, don't we? I know the comments section. The menu's here. They've given us the full extensive menu, the regular menu, but we do have this 1917 menu where you get the 2 courses for £19.95. And there's some decent options on there. Me and Mrs. Greeno are going to pick different options. I will try both. Mrs. Greeno will be nibbling away while she's filming though, I'm sure. It's one of those deals where you get the main course, but it doesn't really have anything else with it. So for example, one of the things we're going to order is a smoked haddock and salmon fish cake. Now it comes with a hen's egg poached on top and a crushed pea and herb sauce, but there's nothing else with it. So you have to order sides to go with that. Now there's a good range of sides, but of course every one of those you order bumps the price up, doesn't it? So the headline rate of the menu isn't what you're going to end up paying, basically. And of course, because there's only 2 courses, if you want a dessert, there's another additional fee. So yeah, the headline rate of £19.95 sounds good, but definitely going to be more. Okay, can we just get a bottle of sparkling water, please? And we're ready to order the food, yeah. If we can take as starters, we'll take the fried halloumi, please, from this menu. And the chicken skewers, please. And as mains, we're going to go for the pan-fried fillet of sea bass, please. And the smoked haddock and salmon fish cake, please. Yes, if we can take the creamed spinach as a side and the green beans too. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Thank you. One thing I didn't mention, and I always get caught out with this when I go out for lunch with Mrs. Greeno, the pan-fried fillet of sea bass sounds good. £4.95 supplement. Come on, Mrs. Greeno, you've done me again. What's going on here? £19.95 set menu, huh? Deary me. Well, let's just talk through what we've ordered in a little bit more detail, folks. For starters, Mrs. Greeno's gone for the fried halloumi. That comes with a red pepper puree, tomatoes and watercress. That sounds interesting. I've gone for the Rabata grilled chicken skewers. So they should be grilled really quickly in that Rabata grill. That should be red, red hot. So it should keep the chicken nice and moist in the middle and kind of gnarly on the outside. That's served with a bang bang peanut sauce. That should have a little bit of fire to it, I guess. Sesame, coconut, lime and coriander. Nice Asian flavours there. Main course, as we know, Mrs. Greeno has gone for the pan-fried fillet of sea bass. That is served with creamed potato, mash, samphire, tomato concasse and saffron sauce. Sounds like a nice little combination that as well. I've gone for the smoked haddock and salmon fish cake. poached free-range egg on the top, crushed pea and herb sauce. Be interesting to see what herbs they put into that. Mint is the usual one you'd use with peas, isn't it? We've got creamed spinach to go with that. That's going to have some pine nuts and parmesan in it, and some green beans with roasted almonds. All sounds really tasty. Will it be worth the money though? We will see. Here's my starter. This is the chicken skewers, cooked in the Rabata grill. There's peanuts on top there. There's the Bang Bang peanut sauce. You've got sesame seeds, a bit of lime here, and what looks like some kind of pickled Asian radish, or mooli or something like that perhaps. So we're going to get a little bit of this lime juice and squeeze that over the top of everything. It's going to give a nice citrusy zing, bring all those flavours alive. And also, if you come in a little bit closer here, there's fresh chilli scattered around too. I like that little bit of heat. So, it's a bit difficult to film. The Mrs. Greeno's not very far away from me, so I'm basically just going to pick it up. We're going to go sort of street food style, okay? So, let's try this chicken. That's nice and juicy, not dry at all. The peanut sauce, they call it a Bang Bang sauce. It's got basically a satay sauce by any other name. It has got that nice peanut flavour, and there is a nice little hint of chilli throughout, not just from the little fresh bits of chilli on there. That's really rather tasty. Come on, I will be a little bit more civilised though. We are somewhere posh. I am going to take it off of the skewer to eat the rest of it. So, let's try and get some with a bit more of that sauce and some of these peanuts on here, so that we get the full kind of flavour explosion. I like the fact they've got big pieces of peanut on there, not just crushed little bits. It adds a really good textural element. And the flavour is very, very nice. Strong peanut flavour, a little bit of chilli, and a zing from that lime. I'm going to try this little side bit to it. I'm not quite sure exactly what it is. Little radish. It seems to have saffron over the top, which is interesting. It's a strange use of saffron. Saffron's really expensive, isn't it? So just to make something look pretty. That I like. Again, we have a lime flavour in there. Adds a real freshness. God. And a little bit of chilli in the dressing. It really kind of complements the peanut sauce here, but it's just a bit zingier with that citrus. I like this. Now I'm going to try some of Mrs. Greeno's. Sorry, dear. Right then, Mrs. Greeno's going to be nibbling away on one of those skewers while I'm trying this, I am sure. We're married, it's fine to share. So we have this halloumi here with this red pepper sauce and some greenery here. So let's cut into one of these bits of halloumi, nice and white inside. Really good colour to the outside of it though. And we'll get some of that red pepper and a little bit of this herb and just go for it, shall we? It's good. The halloumi is the overriding flavour. The red pepper sauce gets a little bit lost behind that salty, cheesy flavour. The halloumi is cooked beautifully. Nice and crisp on the outside, soft on the inside. This pepper and tomato sauce just needs a little bit more oomph, in my opinion. It's not bad, it just gets a little bit lost. Right, we're going to crack on and finish these. Come back for the main course. Starters were a success. The main course is here now. I'm not going to muck about because we have a poached egg on top of here, and I always get told off for talking too much and the poached egg might overcook. So pea and herb sauce here, fish cake, poached egg. Let's go. Cut into it. There we go. That is a beautifully poached egg, isn't it? Look at that. Nice and gooey inside. Sat on top of a very crispy looking fish cake and that nice pea and herb sauce underneath. So, let's give everything a try, shall we? I'm really pleased with that egg. I'm going to try the fish cake by itself first, if I can. If I can find a piece that's not got everything else on it. You can see inside here, it's got a really nice smoky aroma to it. And a beautiful colour to the outside too. That is very tasty. The breadcrumb has just the right amount of crisp to it. It's not greasy in any way. And it's not burnt anywhere. It's just a beautiful golden colour all around. The egg is going to add a nice creamy element to that, I'm sure. Let's give that a go. In fact, we'll get the sauce there. Oh, look at this. Great big flakes of fish inside that fish cake. That is nice. Quite often, when you have a fish cake, it's just all minced up inside, isn't it? This, nice flakes in there. So let's get a bit of the egg, get a bit of this pea and herb on there. The flavours are quite delicate. This pea and herb sauce is sweet. And there's a mixture of herbs in there. Definitely some mint, a little bit of coriander. But it adds a real freshness and sweetness to this dish. You contrast that against the smokiness of the fish, and then you've got the creaminess of the egg. That's really tasty. That's really tasty. What I need to do now is add some of these sides. So here we have green beans with almonds. And we also have in this little pot here, not too hot to pick up, a little spinach there with a crumb topping and parmesan, all that sort of good stuff. So let's grab a little bit of that out of there. Beautiful creamy spinach. That does look very, very appealing. Yeah, this is absolutely delicious. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. And we'll grab a little bit of these green beans on there too. A bit awkward just with a spoon, but we'll manage. Here we go. Get a few of those on there to try. Now hopefully these green beans are cooked nice and al dente. They feel like it. They kind of squeak when you eat them. Very nicely cooked. Lightly blanched, tossed in some butter, a little bit of almond on it. Very, very classic. And again, a nice accompaniment to what's on this plate. The creamed spinach, I'm expecting this to have a little bit more of a punchy flavour, because we have got parmesan, we have got garlic. Wow. That breadcrumb, or what do they call it, pan grattato, I think, really does have some flavour. It's heavy with garlic. It is heavy with garlic. You have the parmesan in there, you have the pine nuts. Okay, just very, very quickly. I was going to film Mrs. Greeno eating this, but she has respectfully declined to be on camera today, so that's fine. Sea bass, nice skin on there. It looks a good sized fillet of sea bass. We have the saffron sauce, little tomato concasse, and some samphire in there. So let's just try the sauce and the veggies first. Very fragrant, actually. That's really good. A little bit of saltiness from the samphire. Sweetness from the tomato. Go on, let's just get it all going on, shall we? Lovely crisp to the skin of that sea bass. Delicate flavoured flesh. Nothing overpowering in this dish. For me, I'd like a crack more seasoning in there, a little bit more salt, a little bit more pepper. But it's a good dish. Right then, folks, that was delicious. Cleared plates. Now, I'm going to skip dessert because I'm quite full now. That would have been an additional £5.75, I think, per dessert. But we're just going to get the bill and we'll talk about the whole experience outside. See you in a minute. Right then, folks, so the Ivy down here in sunny Bournemouth. What do we think? I've got to say, I was impressed. The venue, okay, it's brand new. It's been open, what, 2 months, 3 months maybe? Beautiful inside, really nicely decorated. The tables, if anything, are a little bit too close together. They're trying to get as many people in as possible, but fortunately, we were sat next to a lovely couple celebrating the gentleman's birthday, which is coming up the day after filming, and they were really nice. He watches the channel. Top bloke. The service in there, absolutely impeccable. The staff are very smartly dressed, they're very well trained, very professional, always on the move, looking out for people, trying to attract their attention, and even kind of prejudging when people need their attention. Really, really good. The food, I gotta say, I was kind of expecting it to feel a bit more chainy, if you know what I mean, because they are basically a chain at the end of the day. But it didn't feel that way. The food felt really nice. It was great. The starters, the halloumi with the red pepper sauce, Mrs. Greeno said that was really, really tasty. And in fact, she made a good point, because I tried the chicken with the bang bang peanutty sauce first, maybe that kind of influenced the way I tasted that halloumi with the red pepper sauce. She said it was really, really good. I really enjoyed my starter with the peanuts, the chicken and everything, and the freshness of that little kind of radishy element. Delicious. The main courses were also great. My fish cake with a beautiful poached egg on top, the little pea and herb sauce around it, was delicious. And a good little lunch dish. Mrs. Greeno's sea bass, supplement as always, but it was good. It was really tasty. And a nice delicate saffron sauce with the tomatoes and stuff was really good. Really good. Now, we did order 2 sides. I think one probably would have been enough, to be honest with you. As a lunch, the portions were decent enough. But these are the little things where they kind of get you beyond the headline rate, don't they? I've got the receipt here in my hand. Basically, the 2-course meal for 2 people, £39.90. I mean, that sounds very reasonable, doesn't it? Then you've got the sparkling water, that's a £5. Then you've got the £5 supplement for the sea bass. The cream spinach is £6. The green beans and almonds are £5. Service charge, 12.5%. That's £7.59. These things all add up, don't they? They all add up. You think you're going out for a cheap lunch. You're thinking, God, a £19.95 a person? That sounds good. Total bill, £68.34. Now, my maths isn't great, but I think that's more than 2 lots of £19.95, isn't it? But do you know what? I still think it's a good value lunch. I really do. So, what am I going to score this? In terms of the venue, in terms of the staff there and the food, it's difficult to find fault. I think the only thing I don't like is the fact the tables are so close together, and if you had someone sat next to you who wasn't as nice as the couple that we had sat next to us, it could be an issue. But I'm picking faults here, I'm picking faults. The price, I think, is good for this deal. The main menu, possibly a little punchy. But if I'm going to score it out of 5, 4.8? I think it's that good. I think a 4.8 out of 5. It's not your average chain restaurant experience. And I tell you what, if you went to somewhere like, I don't know, Zizzy or Wagamama for lunch, between 2 of you, you're probably going to spend best part of 70 quid anyway, aren't you? So, yeah, 4.8 out of 5. Does it get Greeno's green light? The Ivy's got green livery. I seem to pick places with green livery, don't I, to go? It gets Greeno's green light too. Really, really impressed. Okay then, folks, so if you've enjoyed this video where I've been looking at the Ivy down here in Bournemouth, don't forget, click a thumbs up on there for me. It does help the channel. And if you've enjoyed this video, why not take a little look around the vault, see what else you like. And if there's more than one thing there that you like, why not consider subscribing, ding your bell for notifications, and YouTube will tell you when I upload new content. Right, where to now, Mrs. Greeno? You gonna go and treat me to something nice somewhere? No? Just home then. Come on, let's go.